What's up? This Coach Hamm. I want to say peace and love. You know I'm with Unc. I'm getting a lot of inquiries about what is a Unc. Um, just a simple definition of an Unc is it means eternal life. So with that being said, by focusing on eternal life, I spoke about accepting what's going on. That's not an easy situation to accept it. But when you do accept it and you realize what key situation is dealing with you, it's called a pivot. So today's life hack is having a pivot thought. So what I do is I keep a little notepad with me and I write certain things down. If this happened, I write this down. If this happened, I write that down. I keep like a daily journal of what go on. So when I sit back in my contemplation or meditation time, whatever you feel comfortable with, I kind of look back and see how did I feel at this certain situation at a certain time, because energy follows thought. If you think right now about something that happened probably 10 years ago, you will embody that emotion that you went through back then. Humans are the only species that when we look at ourselves and judge ourselves, no matter how old it is, if we find ourselves guilty, we feel like we need a consequence. Once again, if we find ourselves guilty, no matter how old it is, we find ourselves guilty, we once again embody that emotion. If you took a moment right now and thought about something that you didn't like or welcomed on that vibration, you feeling uncomfortable, if you just think about it, you can feel that coming over your body. Then a pivot thought would be think about something that's lovely, something joyful. It could be whatever, a vacation. You win the lottery for $1 billion. Whatever that energy is that feels good, your body gonna embody that. So now a trigger could be is I want to get in shape. Every time I look in the mirror, I don't like what I see. I'm not uncomfortable with what I see. That could be a trigger. So now the pivot thought is, you know what, I'm gonna start doing something every morning when I wake up and every night before I go to my rest. It could be 5 push-ups, 5 sit-ups, 5 jumping jacks. At least you are doing something to get yourself out of that situation. So when that thought does come to trigger you, that lower vibration, you say, I'm doing something to evolve to become a better me. So that way you can accept what's going on, you can release it, and pivot your thought to something a lot more positive and a lot more loving. Because once again, we are not what we see, but we are our thoughts. So our reality really isn't what I see, what we see. It's the way we're looking at what we're looking at, what we see, our perception. And my story was I wasn't always this calm and peaceful dude. Like younger, I used to find enjoyment get into altercations to knock people out to see how fast they fall or become unconscious and start snoring. That aggressive tendency, you can't act as if that's not you. That's why I stopped drinking liquor, because liquor and that sugar doesn't coincide with that brain the right way in the prefrontal cortex. Mostly it has you in the amygdala, which deal with fight or flight. You want to stay in that prefrontal cortex. That's why I always speak about I apologize. I always speak about not doing mouth to mouth to nose breathing. It's mostly nostril to nostril breathing. And the last thing we want to talk about is it's good, and it's a good thing to talk to yourself. That's another pivot. If your brain wants to pull you into a negative emotion or a negative story that's going to make you play or help you play that victim, pivot that thought and say, no, I'm the victor. I had a conversation and I seen what happened. Once you tell that story, leave that story alone and start repeating that story over and over and over again. Because every time you tell that story, you invite that emotion into your body. Tell that story to one person or write it down. Once you write it down, burn it and let it go. Start reliving that story by retelling it. This is Coach Hamm giving you tools I use for myself. Love yourself so other people can love you as well. Godspeed. Peace.